Gardner sits at the bottom of the valley like a period. At the end of everything the road has left to say. Roosevelt Arch at the north gate of the park above it. They'll come through in November like they own the way. I've been driving down from Livingston on Sundays. No good reason, just a river and the pool. 6 weeks of circling before I had the nerve to stop and walk into the diner when the parking lot was full. She was talking to a table by the window, laughing at something that had nothing to do with me. I sat down at the counter and she came over, said, "You've been driving past here, I've been watching, I can see." She wasn't waiting to be found by anybody, just living in the place that shaped her from the start. I'd come down from the railroad line in Livingston and walk straight into the middle of her heart. The girl in Gardner knew every L by habit, knew every bend the Yellowstone preferred, knew the way the park goes quiet after snowfall, knew the hymns before the congregation heard. She didn't need a drifter showing up to save her. She just needed one with sense enough to stay. The girl in Gardner, Lord, she was something, standing at the north gate of everything I've been wandering toward. First time I asked her out, she said she'd think on it. Second time she said she'd seen my kind come through. Boys who love the mountains for a season, then remember they had somewhere else to do. I said I lay track for the Northern Pacific, said I had a bunk in Livingston, said I meant to stay. She looked at me like she was weighing something careful, said the railroad kept a lot of men and sent a lot away. I said, not this one. She said, we'll see. Said, winter's coming, that's the real test out here. I said, I've been cold before. She said, not Montana cold. And she was right. Lord, she was right about that. She took me into Yellowstone on a Sunday after church. He said, if you're staying here, you better know what staying costs. The bison didn't move, the canyon didn't soften, and Lewin watched my face to see if I'd be lost. I made it through that winter, hands split open on the iron in the cold, driving down to Gardner every Sunday without missing, sitting in her church pew doing what I was told. Not told by her. She never told me anything, just lived her life and let me decide whether I was man enough to match it. The congregation noticed me before she claimed me. Half of Gardner had an opinion on the railroad man, but Lewin just kept passing me the hymnal and let me find the melody best I can. I never was much of a singer, but Lord, I tried. For her I tried. By April I could tell a good morning by the light. By June I knew the Yellowstone's particular June sound. By August she let me take her hand on the bridge above the river, and I felt something in my chest come unwound. She said one evening with the current going silver, with the Absolocus holding all that fading gold, I think you might be someone worth the keeping, Bob. I said, Lewin, I've been trying to be that since before I knew what keeping meant, since South Dakota, the first Sunday I drove past and didn't stop. I've been trying to be worth this. I asked her in October on the road into the park, just the two of us and the aspens going gold. Pulled the truck off where the state line cuts through Yellowstone, and got out in the cold. I didn't have a speech prepared, didn't have the words arranged. Just stood there on that line between Wyoming and Montana, with the elk boogling somewhere in the timber out of sight, and the mountains holding everything like a cathedral. I said, Lou, and I came from South Dakota with nothing. I followed no particular reason to this valley, and this valley gave me you. And I would like to spend whatever time this railroad and these mountains give me standing right here on this line between everything I was and everything I want to be with you. She looked at the mountains a long moment. The elk called out again somewhere in the gold. She said, Bob, I thought you'd never asked.